Let's begin this lesson by opening up the image we used in the previous lesson. That just happens to be 201_2715581.jpg from our good friends at photospin.com. We've got an image open. We're looking at the image. Now we need a plan of attack. We need a goal. What are we going to do with it? Well, when the photograph was taken, they either used some baby spots for the guy on that really small bike and the girl on the wall to emphasize them, which is actually a good thing. And then they darkened up the outside, or they did that in Photoshop. Okay, whichever way they did it, I want to equalize it out a little. I want to add a little light to the edges. So we say, well, Photoshop, levels, sure, we can do this. So we open the image in Photoshop, which we've done, and we go into the half moon icon down here, and we select something like levels. Now, this image is for tone, not color. So we would leave it on RGB to move all three channels at the same time. And we come over here saying, move this. But you probably already figured out the problem. We have no control. These areas are getting lighter. That's cool. But these areas are getting lighter at the same rate. Let's get rid of this one. Let's drag it to the trash can. Collapse this out for now. We don't need it. We need to think this thing through. Adjustment layers have a mask. If I can make a mask that fits how that oval vignette lights up the center and then reverse it, I might be able to believably lighten the edges without impacting the inside. But how do I make that soft of an oval? My idea here is quick mask, along with a selection. Now, we talked about quick masking in another chapter, but let's go over it again. Quick masking allows me to paint. It allows me to use my paintbrush or colors, paints, fills, whatever we want to use as the selection area. And so I'm going to start by picking up my elliptical marquee right here. And I'm going to get right about here. I think that's kind of in the center of the light in the dark areas. I'm going to hold the Alt key, that's the Option key on a Mac, Alt key in Windows, and click and drag. And as you can see, it draws out from center. What I want to do is something about, actually, I'm a little bit off, aren't I? So I'm going to keep going here. And then I'm going to move it over like that. Now, the cool thing about doing it the way we're going to is if we make a mistake, it's very easy to correct. It's not destructive. So I've got that, but that's a harsh edge. Now, I can feather it, but how can I tell from a selection if I've done enough feathering? To me, that's where Quick Mask comes in. Now, check this out. If we click this button down here, which is the Quick Mask button, our selection turns into paint. Now, the one thing we can't do to a selection is Gaussian blur it, but I can Gaussian blur this. So I'm going to come up to the word filter and down to blur and select Gaussian blur. In Gaussian blur, with the mask selected the way it is, in quick mask mode, I can see exactly what's going on. And I need something really soft, and that doesn't look too bad. We're at 191.2. We're going to stop there. Click OK. I'll go back and click this button, which will take us back to selection mode. You see, it doesn't look any different. You can't see a feather on a selection. So if you've got a quick mask, you can see it. Now, what do we do next? Well, we can make our adjustment layer. So if we come down again and pick the half moon icon up and go into levels, there it is right here. We have control of the inside, not the outside, because black means no control. So if you select the mask right here, just click it and select it, we can click the invert button over here. And now we're controlling the outside. Now again, we're experimenting. If it's not perfect, if it doesn't look good, we can make another mask, non-destructive editing. But now that we have this under control, we can go back, click this button here, or come up here and click it here. And now move the middle slider and lighten those areas up without impacting anything else. Now we can close this down for a second and see what we've got. Turn this on and off. In a sense, we've blown the whole thing, because the lighting was there to attract and draw your attention. But levels can lighten or darken images without impacting color, and then combine that with the mask that we created using Quick Mask and Gaussian blur, and you have all the control in the world over any image. That's pretty cool.